welcome, guys. I'm so sorry that we are late today by almost an hour. That's because of some technical issues, but that's okay. And we are starting a stream today. As you all can see, just a sec. I'm going to just invite the users, and I'm also going to do some other things out here. Now, looks like it's working fine. So, guys, as you all know, it's always about like almost an hour, like 4 hours session every day between 4 to 8 p.m. is when we go live. So today, we almost missed out on 1 hour already. So that's okay. Let's see what we have. I'm going to just pick up few things today. As usual, you know that 1 hour I always talk about markets, whether it's like the crypto markets or it's to do with the financial markets. And then we talk about the technical analysis part of it. So let's continue doing that. All right. So looking at the markets right now, you can see Bitcoin at 111, Ethereum at 4365, BNB at 853, Solana at 210, up by 5.3%. Bitcoin is also up by 2.2%. Ethereum is also up by 1.11%. BNB is also positive. XRP is also positive. All of them are positive. Crypto market is standing at the market capitalization standing at 3.84 trillion US dollars. Volume is standing at 170.13 billion US dollars. And then what else? What else do we have here? All right, we have so all the 100 coins, all the 100 coin market cap index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think around 11 of them are negative, rest of them are all positive. So that's what is happening. Let's see the weekly and the daily charts to see what the trend looks like. All right, on the weekly and the daily charts, and what about some indicators here, guys, so that we know where are we heading. So I have my SMA. I want to see the SMA 50 and SMA 200 to see where are we heading. All right. I'm going to change the color from my blue. It's going to be yellow. Yellow, the tree fell out, sitting down on the fell. All right, so here we are. My nine, why is this 9? I changed it to 50, right? Why, tell me why not? All right, I have it. So, all right, on my daily chart, I have my 50-day, 50 period moving average below the price, which means the uptrend is continuing still. And my 200 MA is also below. Let's see what's happening on the weekly charts. Weekly charts also, both of them are below. Price is up. Okay. Okay, so the broader perspective we have seen. the broader perspective does say that the trend is strong, the trend is it's it's below the price, so there's an uptrend that's still that is there. Okay, let's delete this and open our small charts, and let's begin our technical analysis. Mhm. All right, let's begin. So, other than the crypto markets that we have here, the S&P 500 basically is uh, down by 0.75%. S&P 500 is trading at $640.27, down approximately by 0.76%, reflecting cautious sentiments in US equities today. All right, that's about the S&P 500. Major indices, including the Dow Jones, and they are under the pressure due to concerns over rising treasury yields, trade tensions, and uncertainty over Federal Reserve's policy. All right. And other than that, a commentary in the Financial Times podcast, OK Doomer, suggests that despite outward stability, markets are potentially vulnerable, particularly in high valuation. Sectors like tech and AI, institutional exposures, and private market inflows could serve as hidden pressure points. All right. On the cryptocurrency market front, Bitcoin is stabilizing around 110 to 111K, buoyed by stronger stablecoin liquidity and moderate inflows. Ethereum is trading around 4,300 to 4,367, with reports of recent strong performance and expectations for further upside. Notably, XRP, Solana, and Doge have posted higher daily gains. XRP up by 3 to 3.5%. Solana is up by almost 6.6%, and Doge is up by 4.7%. The key drivers and the catalysts behind all these are basically um, pointing towards the anticipated Fed rate cuts, momentum from crypto, IPOs, and increased institutional activity as key drivers. The Ethereum Fusaka upgrade aimed at improving scalability and lowering gas fees is in development, painting a positive backdrop for Ethereum's utility in DeFi. So, guys, I know we all are trading these days in Ethereum, and these days Ethereum is all in the booming section. And today, yes, there is some news. So there is something called Fusaka upgrade that's happening on the front, which is going to improve the scalability and the gas fees for Ethereum's network. So that is in development, which can be a positive news for all of us. So um, Ethereum Had it touched $4,000 or something, could have gone below 3,000, 3,500 level. But since it is hovering around 4,200 to 300 level, which is its previous support, is still in the support zone, and likelihood that price hovering around these areas might take it to a surge of around 8,000, sorry, not 8,000, around $5,000 and above in the coming few days. So we are right now on 3rd of September, where basically the prices are, some of them are positive, some of them are negative. Recent highs uh, made by all the cryptocurrencies, all the stable coins. Now, after profit taking and everything, we all are sitting here. That's where we are, and this is where we are headed. The SEC and the CFTC have signed approval for spot Bitcoin and Ethereum trading platforms to launch via major exchanges like NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, and CME, a major milestone for US crypto adoption. So that's what we're heading towards. A Bitcoin focused firm declared a 450 billion BTC purchase, 4,048 BTC, with plans to push for inclusion in the S&P 500 index. Bullish operator of CoinDesk Indices appointed David Lawell as its new president to drive further mainstream adoption of crypto benchmarks. The Trump-affiliated WLFI token, launched with high initial hype and massive speculation, has plunged 50% from its peak. Despite the drop, it maintains a 5.98 billion market capitalization. The Trump family reportedly holds 25% of the supply. Commentary highlights that yield-chasing crypto companies may be particularly vulnerable in the current environment. So overall, the total global crypto market capitalization is standing at 3.85 trillion, up around 1.7% past day. And 24-hour trading volume about 170 billion is what you can see. It's a 6.3% increase. And stable coins are continuing to dominate, accounting to over 96% of the total volume. Bitcoin dominance, as usual, is basically standing at 57.8%, up slightly. Similarly, figures from Kraken is showing a market capitalization of 3.94 trillion with gains in Bitcoin, which is like 1.945% for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, plus significant jumps in altcoins like Solana. So overall summary and what it actually means for all you traders and investors is Bitcoin and Ethereum are stabilizing with moderate gains. Altcoins are continuing to rally. Now, what we need to watch out is watch for news on spot ETF rollouts, Ethereum upgrades, and institutional inflows. So that's going to basically impact our prices, which means the markets are going to go up because of these reasons. So in case you are thinking to draw profits, that should be something that you should be watching. And in case you're looking that it should go further down, then you should be waiting to see some negative news. That's what you should be watching for. So volatile tokens like WLFI is showing high risk, high speculation with caution. Invest with caution is what is being told about the high speculative tokens already. All right. Equities softness driven by macroeconomic uncertainty, yields and tariffs. Keep an eye on upcoming Fed decisions, treasury yields and earnings. Everyone is watching out for Federal Reserve rate cuts. Rate cuts are always a good news for all of us. The markets are going to go up, of course, because if the rates are going to go down for the other investment options, for savings account, for other investments, and basically we will see that the other ones are going to see what are we going to see? We are going to see, and this is going to be fruitful for us. The negative news is going to be a buying option for us, and a positive news is going to be a profit taking day for us. So cautious optimism across both sectors, regulatory updates, and new catalyst is shifting momentum. Crypto markets are gaining momentum with Bitcoin and Ethereum, leading regulation in institutional participation are strengthening while speculation will add volatility. Traditional markets are cautious and trade uncertainty. Overall, it's a mix of optimism punctuated by caution. All right. Guys, that's about the global markets, crypto markets, and as well as the overall market outlook and the equities that we talked about. So a lot of you ask me this question, and this question is always hovering around. A lot of you guys were just starting out in this industry, isn't it? That wow, what are the what is the best exchange platform? Where can we invest? How can we make profits? What is the best crypto to invest in? And how much time should we keep it? How much capital should we invest? What should be the strategies? So many questions that keep popping. Even in fact, when I was starting my crypto journey, like back about a year and a half, I had the same similar set of questions, and I simply, basically, slowly answered all my questions by myself, by researching, by doing a lot of calculation, by finding out a lot of things, basically, and after which I was completely satisfied with the answers, and then that took me to the decision of putting my money into crypto trading. All right, let's begin. So, as you can see, I have put two indicators here. These two indicators basically are two different indicators. One is linear regression, which basically helps you identify the slope or the intercept or the way the market is performing, so where the trend is heading. It's not going to tell you when the trend is changing or not changing or things like that. Those are not evident on this, but all it tries to tell you is how the trend is basically forming. So as the slope keeps changing, whether it's in the sideways or in the upward direction or it's in the downward direction, it will keep on telling you where are we heading towards. All right. So the upper band that you see acts like a resistance band, and the lower band that you see is acting like a support, and the middle line that you see is the linear regression line. And these two upper and lower bands are at a standard deviation of 2, and that basically indicates where the price is heading. All right. So you can clearly see the best way to use this particular indicator is by using the support and resistance lines. And I do not say whenever you see that the price is going towards the lower band is when you buy. No, because sometimes what happens is, even though it might be reaching the support level on the linear regression line, it might not be the exhaustion level on the RSI front. So you need to measure RSI on different time frames, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, everything, to see if it has actually reached its over exhaustion levels. So in case it has reached its oversold territory and it's below 30, below 20 or whatever, that's where you get the opportunity to buy. Linear regression should always be, it should be always it should always be confirmed. Like you need to alternatively confirm it with other indicators. And while I say that each indicator cannot be a decision itself, you have to confirm it simultaneously with different indicators to be able to take a successful trade. All right. So what happens here is an indicator in itself is never so independent to give you an accurate decision, because indicators are itself man-made tools, and these are not confirmed decisions or confirmed things. It will indicate you what it is, what we are talking about, like what the present condition looks like, signaling us what it looks like, not telling you what to do. It's not a decision, so the decision totally lies on you. So when you look at different things, different aspects of trading, different aspects of how the trend is, where we are heading, whatever we are looking at, are we looking at the right kind of things to make a right kind of decision is what it will indicate. So while it may indicate anything that it likes, like whatever based on the current performance, if anything in the market comes up which is like which brings about some kind of positive or negative news and some uncertainty, the indicators will not be able to give you that information. So learn to understand this, that indicators are just indicating based on the current market supply and demand. They are not behaving as per the overall what the markets are performing like. So if suddenly some mishap happens, like suddenly something goes wrong, some emergency breaks out, some emergency decision happens in the US, in the Federal Reserve side or whatever, that will not be a picture which indicators will show. So you have to be careful, not just about using the indicators, but also being aware of what is happening across the markets to understand that you need to understand that you're taking right kind of decisions. Now, just now, while we were discussing in the starting of the session, we discussed that the markets basically for Bitcoin and Ethereum is continuing to look good, positive, and all of that. And there's some kind of development that's coming for Ethereum, which may bring about some positive news. And not just that, there is a pending decision at Federal Reserve, which is about to happen on 15th to 17th of September, which likely might bring about some positive news, can drive the markets up, or if it brings about some negative news, then it might, take the markets down further. So every crypto basically goes through 4 steps or the 4 cycles that we need to understand. That there will be weeks, not weeks, I would say, there will be days where market will be just accumulating the orders, where it will be just collecting the orders because they want to have some orders coming in. Then after receiving the orders, basically there will be a time when basically the markets will continue to rally, which means the prices will start driving the markets will start moving up in the upward direction. Once it moves to a limited over exhaustion level of overbought, यानी सबसे लोवेस्ट लेवल पर जब वो पहुंच जाती है, फ्रॉम देयर इट स्टार्ट्स क्लाइंबिंग अप until it gets into the over exhaustion levels. Then it starts giving the profits. Distribution of profits is what happens, and then after the profit taking, it goes through the again accumulation phase or the reaccumulation phase, where basically it starts again collecting the orders. तो ये होता है 3 से 4 चीजें जो एक साइकिल में चलती है, और वो हर क्रिप्टो में फॉलो होती है। पहले ओवर एग्जॉस्टिव लेवल्स पे मतलब सेलिंग की इतनी ओवर एग्जॉस्टिव लिस्ट पे पहुंच जाती है कि बस उसके आगे अभी और सेलिंग हो नहीं पाएगी, और फिर जब वो ओवर एग्जॉस्टिव लेवल्स पे पहुंच जाती है, फिर वहां से फिर वापस से बाइंग शुरू होती है, तो फिर वो वापस से ऊपर की तरफ जाने को लगती है। फिर ऑर्डर्स कलेक्ट करते 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 वो ऊपर की तरफ रैली करती है, फिर वो रैली करने के बाद बेसिकली प्रॉफिट देकर वापस से फिर से नीचे उतरने लगती है, जहां पे वो ओवर एग्जॉस्टिव बाई पोजीशन पे पहुंच जाती है। ऑलराइट, चलिए लेट्स कंटिन्यू। तो अभी आप हम लोग 5 मिनट्स के टाइम फ्रेम पर है और वी आर सीइंग दिस चार्ट एंड यहाँ पर ऑलमोस्ट न्यूट्रल जोन पर आरएसआई पर पहुंच गया है मेरा आरएसआई, यानी यहाँ पर जो न्यूट्रल जोन पे ये पहुंचा है, ये यहाँ पर ये इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि मार्केट अभी इक्विलिब्रियम पे है, यानी जो नंबर ऑफ बायर्स है इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ सेलर्स। जब भी नंबर ऑफ बायर्स इज इक्वल टू नंबर ऑफ सेलर्स, तो इसमें कुछ भी प्रॉफिट टेकिंग का कोई सिनेरियो नहीं होता है। तो बेसिकली आपको यहाँ से देखना रहेगा कि क्या आगे मार्केट ऊपर की जाए, तो विल कंटिन्यू टू सी दैट। राइट, हम क्योंकि आज हमने ट्रेड थोड़ी लेट से स्टार्ट की थी, तो हमने एक बाई पोजीशन खो दी है, विच इज ओके, आई थिंक नॉट अ बैड थिंग। You see how the slope has slightly changed, like just about in 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, just about 2 seconds ago. So the moment you see that, the way the market is behaving is when you will see that the prices basically will, the slope also will continue to change its way. I'm moving towards the 15 minutes chart. You can see here every different time frame will give you different outlook of the way the crypto is performing. So in 5 minutes, you saw it just rose from the over exhaustion levels, like not over exhaustion, I would say. It rose from below the neutral zone, but in 15 minutes you see it's still above on the bullish side, on the bullish zone above. In this also it's above the linear regression line, but here on the um, RSI also it's basically above the 50 neutral zone. So now, totally, it depends on you. If you are scalping, you're day trading, you're swing trading, you're going to hodl it for a couple of days. So you need to look at different time frames for different usages. You might be having this question, which time frame I should use. So time frame basically depends on what you are looking at. So in case you want to analyze the market, every candle that you see here, like in 15 minutes time frame, is every time it's showing you every 15 minutes what is happening to the candle. If you are looking at a 5 minute chart, it is showing you candle for every 5 minutes, which it is showing you like every 5 minutes how it is performing. So depending on what kind of a trade you want to take and where the market is heading in different time frames is what you can choose to basically enter into the trade. Now looking at this 15 minutes time frame, I would never ever take a trade because market is above the neutral zone and it's in the middle, and I'm not too sure, there's uncertainty for me at this point in time whether from here the market will go up or it will continue to come down. The bad part or the sad part here is, like, if I take a trade and the market takes a, you know pullback, whether it's for short term and or if it is completely going to change the trend itself, then I will be in a very very riskier position to basically lock my money. But in case when I see that the market is already in the exhaustion levels, which it has reached below 30, then be in not I might not be in very exhaustive levels. I might be still on a safer zone, and my money would not be locked for a very longer period of time. Anyways, let's move and see this. All right, there's still 1 minute on the time frame, and you can see that there's a large candle that's formed with a big body on the 15 minutes time frame, which means previous 15 minutes there has been heavy buying which has driven the prices up. The large candle is the evidence to it. So the difference between spot trading and the futures trading, guys, is just the only thing is, in futures trading you're not buying the actual crypto itself, you're buying a contract, uh, predicting how the future of it looks like. So at this point in time, if you think in coming few days or coming whatever time period you think that it is going to uh, you know go in whichever direction, whether it's going to go down or it's going to go up, you're going to take a trade based on that, and that is how you will decide on the buying or the selling of it. So in spot trading, you might be able to buy it and sell it later on. All right. Only after you hold the crypto. But the difference between the spot and the futures is in futures, you can still sell the crypto even without owning it, because here in futures you're not actually holding a crypto itself, you're holding a contract, which means that you are taking just an initiative to buy a contract saying that it is going to go further down. So I would like to sell some crypto at whatever price that you are uh, predicting it at. So difference between the two is like you are going to make profit in either ways, whether you sell or whether you uh, you know buy, you're going to make profits. But all you need to know is whatever prediction you take in futures, that has to be true to be able to give you the kind of profits that you're looking for. That is all that you need. Whether you are selling, whether you are buying, doesn't matter. Your prediction at the end of the day has to be correct, and that will fetch you the profit. Whereas in spot, it's either the ways. First, you need to hold a crypto, and then after holding, only you'll be able to sell it. So it's a very simple concept: buy low, sell high. That's all it has. But in futures, it's just the opposite. And while both of them have their own pros and cons, not everything will work out for everyone. So not everything is everyone's cup of tea. So you have to be like really, really very um, optimistic, futuristic, pessimistic, all types of trader to be able to learn about uh, how the markets work and how the psychology of it works. All right, so Ethereum basically, as of now, 3rd of September, what we are like what we are heading towards for the next coming few days, for the next coming 2 to 3 weeks, is basically understanding the psychology of the stable coin, or understanding this psychology behind Ethereum. So Ethereum right now, all of us can see it's hovering around 4.3 to 4.37 only. It's rebounding with a broader crypto bounce to start September after a choppy August. And sentiment is cautiously positive, but not euphoric for sure. On September 2nd, basically US spot ETF, ETFs basically saw 135 million net outflows, and Bitcoin basically pulled 330 million net inflows. So there's a small rotation which is favoring Bitcoin at the moment. And money mostly keeps either going from Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to Bitcoin. That is how with the inflow and the outflow happens, and that's how the ETH and Bitcoin in ETFs perform. So the tech roadmap, so Pectra went live in May, and developers are now debating timelines and process for the next wave, often referenced as Fusaka. So it's in community threads, expecting effective and active discussion, but no immediate mainnet switch in the next few days. So this particular move kind of can lower the gas fees on Ethereum, and also bring about some developments, which is going to be something positive for Ethereum in coming few days. And September 5th, US job reports basically, it can labor tone, it can swing the risk appetite, depends on what the news is going to bring about. And on Thursday, 11th September, the US CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, a big macro driver for all risk assets and crypto. The softer CPI is going to be like equals to more odds of Fed cuts, good for Ethereum beta. So if the consumer price index is not going to be harsh, like there's no inflation or things like that, if it's going to be on a softer side, then there will be more odds of Fed rate cuts. And if it is going to be more on Fed rate cuts, then definitely it's going to be good for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all the crypto assets. So agenda right now for the coming few days, like 11th of September, there's an agenda including Fusaka, Amsterdam, headlines from this fall, which can nudge the sentiments closely. Like coming few days, we might see some kind of surge. September 16th to 17th, usually, normally right now, is going to be a meeting, FOMC meeting, Federal Reserve meetings, which will lead market lean towards a rate cut, 25 BPS baseline, a cut and a dovish tone usually supporting the crypto. Um, So resistance, as we all know, at the moment, it's standing at around 4,470 recent supply, and then 4,700 to 4,950 is where it is standing. A clean daily close above 4,470 will push the price into the next highs. So if this is going to continue, it might push the prices further up. But if the support, which was at 4,250, remains and it goes further below 4,100 to 150, we might lose those, and the market is likely to retest the 3.9 and 4.0 pockets and all of that. So we'll have to continue seeing if at this present time the markets will, like, if people at this level are still going to buy and push the prices, or if the market is not able to fetch good amount of buyers or sellers at this level, then we might see that the price will completely go towards the $4,000 level, and then that is where it will be. So if Ethereum ETF outflows will reverse to inflows after CPI, Fed, that's a concrete bullish confirmation. If outflows persist while BTC will soak up the capital, ETH probably grinds more than it rips. So will Ethereum be up by end of September? So the answer will be leaning modestly bullish, but data dependent. Bull scenario 40 to 50% odds. CPI cools, Fed cuts plus dovish guidance, and ETFs flip to net inflows. Ethereum will tag to 4.6 to 4.9K by late September, especially if the development calls, then we might see some kind of surge coming on that front. If the BTC is not holding that kind of a great momentum, Ethereum will gain the momentum. But if people are just they are removing the money from Ethereum and putting it in BTC, then we might not see that kind of grind that could be happening. Mixed macro, if I talk about CPI cautious Fed and neutral flows, Ethereum will range about in 4.1 to 4.6K till the month end. And the bear risk, if it goes like 15 to 25% down, then hot CPI or hawkish Fed, ongoing ETF outflows, range breaks lower towards 3.9 to 4.1K. So all we have to do is at this point in time, hold and wait and see whether it is basically going up or down. So if this momentum which we are currently at this moment and kind of develops and goes further up, it will basically be pushing towards the 4,600 level. So 4,600, 900 or 5,000 levels. Okay. ETH, ETF daily net flows, that's what we have to see. CPI, which is basically on September 11th, we are having one very crucial things that we have to watch out for. FOMC meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting that happens every, eight regularly scheduled meetings per year. So that is what it is. And development call takeaways on September 11th. Any concrete test net, mean net timelines. And if the price is closes versus 4,470 and above, which right now I think it kind of reached 4,395. if it continues to go above 4,470 now and in coming few hours, then we might expect it to reach till 5,000, 4,900. The previous resistance it created might go up. So let's see what's for all of us. So at this moment, you have understood the whole psychology of Ethereum, what it looks like for Ethereum, what's in the news, what is the development that's coming, what is the news around the Federal Reserve meetings, the rate cuts, the CPIs, and everything. That's what we are actually heading towards. All right. So I'm going to take a small 5 minutes break here, guys, and we'll continue watching the markets and we'll continue to talk about other topics that we're supposed to talk. Meanwhile, I want you guys to trade safely. Download the Zbit app. We have our Zbit app available on the Android phones. iOS version of it is not available. We might get the Android iOS version of it very soon. So please download it as soon as possible and start trading on the cryptos. And if you need any kind of guidance, a 24/7 customer service team is there. A live stream team is there. 8 hours a day. Three days in a week and 4 hours a day on 2 days of the week, not 2 days, I think it's on the 4 days of the week. So please continue to support us, support the things that we do for you. We try to bring you the best quality content. So please like, subscribe. um I will open this information. Oh, it's gone. Let's continue to watch it. All right. So the price tried to reach till 4395 but got rejected. The long wick out here can clearly indicate that the buyers are trying to be strong enough here, but they are not able to sustain the the strength of the buying is not so great. So as you can see it here clearly, that's what is happening. So I think that news was good enough. Let's continue to see if what's the name? I forgot actually. Ethereum Foundation basically. If this particular move is going to bring about any negative news or positive news, we'll have to watch it out. All right. Let's continue after a small 5 minutes break. Okay. Thank you. So as you can see on the RSI, the overbought conditions have been met. It's at 74. Oh, that is what it is. I'll change the settings here. I'm going to remove the RSI based MA here. Only the purple line is needed. So it's almost reached the overbought conditions. Let me remove this and check my DMI here. The buying is strong. The trend is also strong. The selling is becoming weak. So looking at the DMI indicator, looks like the price can still further go up and that uptrend can continue. Let's see on the big small time frames, 3 minutes. Also it is strong. 5 minutes, also it's strong. Let's see on the bigger time frames, 45 minutes. Buying is strong. Trend is looking weak. What trend is this? As per this. Think it's pointing towards a downtrend, which is looking weak. On a 1 hour chart, the ADX is weak, buying is strong. On a 4 hour chart, ADX is almost there. Hitting a strong level, 2320, which is going to and above, you can be short. Buying is okay, weaker than selling at the moment on a 4-hour time frame. On a daily time frame, the trend is strong. So the inclination is towards uptrend. Selling is becoming weak, buying is almost equal. So one of them has to surpass, and that's where we'll know that it is almost which one is more stronger. We'll get on the weekly charts, the ADX, the indicator, which is basically our trend indicator. It is on the uptrend basis basically right now, so it's kind of showing strong. Buying is strong, selling is weak. All right, on the longer time frames, we saw both of them are strong, but on short time frames also, buying is strong, trend is strong. All right. So it reached 4440, and there are some sellings that are happening here at this level. People are taking profits here. So guys, it's just hovering around these regions only between 4,200 to 4,400 only. So now we'll have to wait and watch which critical zone it will reach. Will it cross the 4,400 level or it will come below 4,000? The breakout will give us a new parameter altogether. So where the price is heading, we'll get to know about it. So we have on September 11th something for Ethereum. There's a development news that's about to come for Ethereum. And on September 16th to 17th is when we have FOMC meeting that's going to definitely bring about some kind of change. So we'll have to wait and watch what is going to happen. Anyway, so CPI, why does it matter? CPI or the inflation report? The Fed, it watches the CPI report very closely, and they decide whether to cut, hold, or hike the interest rates. So during that time, crypto like tech stocks or risk on asset class moves with liquidity expectations. And if CPI basically becomes hotter than expected, which is like higher inflation, markets will fear rates stay high longer or cuts get delayed, and bonds sell off during that time. Treasury yields rise, USD will strengthen. Risk assets, stocks plus crypto usually drop since money is tighter and borrowing costs are higher. Bitcoin and Ethereum often take a quick leg down, sometimes driving altcoins harder. And if CPI is comes in cooler than expected, lower inflation, odds of Fed rate cuts will rise. Yields will fall, USD will soften, and liquidity expectations improve during that time. All right. Stocks and crypto will typically bounce higher during that time. And Ethereum especially benefits since it has high beta, more stronger than BTC when risk is on. So The third scenario could be like if the CPI is coming as unexpected, it's not coming the way we are expecting, either going high or low. So during those times, usually muted market reactions would be like crypto might drop sideways or just fall equities intraday at that point in time. The real life impact is going to be like over the past year, CPI days have often sparked $1,000 to $3,000 intraday swings, almost like in BTC, and 5 to 8% moves in ETH within hours. So So if the Federal Reserve is going to cut the rates, the crypto will bounce, the rate cuts, and the rates are going to stay high and cuts don't happen, then we might see that the markets will drop. So rate cuts will happen means the cryptos will be demanded more. Cryptos will be adopted more. The bonds which are not giving that great yields, people will liquidate those assets and they'll put their money in crypto assets. It's always like an inverse relationship, and the prices switch from there to here. And during such phases, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum sees a large momentum. Trend and buying pressure is almost same on the 5 minutes chart. So if it's above 25, it does reflect that the trend as well as buying pressure is strong. And the trend is strong. One very bad thing which I find on this indicator and the loophole or the con of this indicator is like suddenly you see the market shifting from up, down, pullback, or anything. It's not very clear on what it is indicating. It just says the trend is strong. So I can see right now it's like an uptrend. The market is going up only. So I'm just hoping that this indicator is actually indicating that the trend which it is going. So like looking at the slope of the regression channel can make out that it's an uptrend and it's going up. So the buying is a bit stronger. We can see this clearly on the indicator, the DMI indicator. DMI has three, lines you can see clearly on the screen. There is a blue line, there is a red line, there is an orange line. That orange line is the selling line. Selling pressure is what it reflects. The red line is basically the indicator line, the strength line. All right, the strength of it is basically reflecting that it's very strong. The weak, that is an ADX line actually. So it kind of tells you where the trend is heading, if it's strong or if it's weak. And then we have this blue line, which basically is selling pressure, all right? Selling pressure, which is very, very strong. So guys, if you are using an Android phone or you're using iOS phone, we have everything. So you can use this basically. We have it here. The first link is for the Android users, and you can use the link and my invite code, which is EZTVV, for downloading the app or downloading the link. You can use that for registration purposes. So please use the link, use my code, and register yourself. All right. Price is trying to create a benchmark, a new higher 4452, but it's somehow getting rejected. So previously it got rejected, now the buyers are trying pushing it hard. So Guys, we'll take a small 5 minutes break here and then we'll continue.